Greetings everyone, and I hope the 1/6 scale gods are smiling on you and that you're all happy and healthy out there, and welcome back to the channel for another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review. And today we're going to be taking an up-close look at the HH Models and Haoyu Toys Legendary Warrior, the 2.0 version, aka Achilles, aka Brad Pitt, as he appears in the 2004 Wofgang Peterson directed sword and sandal epic that is Troy. The review will take the usual format: a quick look at the box, then it'll be down onto the table for a look at all the accessories, then it will be out with the Slayer of Hector himself for a close-up look, and then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end. But first things first, a few shout-outs. Firstly, to everyone who has subscribed to the channel and supported us here in our endeavours at Go Figure, and secondly to William Wang over at One Man's Hobby, who sourced me this figure. As always, there'll be a link to his website below in the description. And finally, a quick request to all those watching the content but not subscribing to the channel. I know you're out there. Please do an old man a favour and turn that view into a subscribe. You'll be helping the aged and helping us keep doing what we're doing here at Go Figure. So, the movie Troy, what's it all about? Well, it tells the tale of the Greek warrior Achilles, the invulnerable, well, apart from his heel, Greek warrior Achilles, and the war that ensued when Paris of Troy pinched Helen away from her husband, Menelaus, the king of cakes. Menelaus, the king of Sparta. And the siege of the city that followed. Cue wooden horses, swords, sandals, epic battles, questionable accents, Oscar-nominated outfits, and of course Brad Pitt. If you like your movies epic, your heroine's hot and your hero's hotter, then you can do a lot worse than seek out this movie. But that's enough of my Trojan ramblings, so tether your horse, stow your spear, kick off your sandals, grab a goblet of nectar, and let's take a look at this box. And it is a huge box too. It's a shoebox design. Well, if you take size 15 shoes, that is. It is absolutely huge. You can probably see here, actually, it's almost the same size as the Apex Time Chaos Ultra cases that we reviewed on the channel recently. It's huge. Hence why I'm so far away from it. But yeah, we won't be actually taking the top off this box on camera, because as well as being incredibly large, it is very, very heavy indeed. But yeah, what you've got on the front here is what looks like some possibly Troy, possibly a Greek scene. You've got the wooden horse there in the background. It says Greek Legendary Warrior on the front, Empire Legion, HH Model down here at the bottom, Haoyu Toys on this side. Bring it round and you'll probably get some idea here of just how big this box actually is when I swing it round. That pattern of the wooden horse and the landscape is there in the background again. Once again, Empire Legion down here, Greek Legendary Warrior. The eagle-eyed amongst you will notice that this box is still sealed. It's brand new, only arrived a day or two ago, so it's a legend of discovery, a voyage of discovery for all of us on this one. On the other side, it's just a repeat of that image again. You've got the head of this time. You've got the head of the wooden horse. There's a crowd scene down here as well. On the back, the usual warnings and credits there. Don't piss this figure off, or it might kill you at the city gates of Troy. We'll try and get this down to have a look on what's on top. On top there, you've got HH Models Haoyu Toys. And on the bottom there, I can manhandle this thing, and believe me, this weighs a ton. No, it's the same again on the bottom. So yeah, there you have it. That's the box. So without further ado, let's crack the seals on this big boy and dive down to the table to have a look at all the accessories. Okay, so here we are, down on the table with all the accessories that come with your Achilles figure. And this goes some way to explaining the weight of that enormous box that we were just looking at. There is an awful lot of metal and polystone here, but we'll come to that. Just before we dive in, a couple of things worth mentioning. Now, I believe that HH Model and Haoyu Toys initially released a version of this a while ago, and this is version 2 or version A of a two-part re-release. I believe they've re-released an A and a B version. This being the A version, which is the deluxe version, which comes with some changes to the accessories, changes to the body, changes to the head sculpt, and some other bits and pieces as well. I don't own the original version, so I've got nothing to compare it to, unfortunately, so I've got to go on what I see in front of me. The only other HH Model and Haoyu Toys figure I've got in the collection is their recently released Conan figure. There'll be a link to that review at the end of this video. And very good it is too, and so I've got high hopes for this. So yeah, let's dive into the accessories. Let's start with the hands, as we always do. You know me and my hands. You get six hands in total of 3 pairs. We'll grab one at random to have a look at the quality. What you're looking at here is a relatively simple sculpt. It's not the most complex sculpt or paintwork I've seen in hands. There's some vein work in there. There's a little bit of reddening to the knuckles. The bone work is being defined. The paint applications aren't the best, although there is some creasing on the knuckles there. We've got some fingernails, a little bit of creasing in the palm. They've got a little bit of a shine to them, unfortunately, rather than that matte look that we come to expect from hands. But yeah, they're not the best hands in the world, but they're most certainly not the worst I've seen. Flexibility test, yeah, we're looking at a soft to medium, which is always a thumbs up in my book for gripping accessories. So yeah, you get an open palm hand, 2 open palm hands rather. You also get 2 fisted hands, same level of sculpt there, same level of detailing. Perhaps, actually, these fisted hands looks like they've got slightly more paint, by the way, the paint application there. Looks like there may be some dry brushing on there to pick out the detailing in the knuckle area. But yeah, 2 fisted hands and what look like 2 weapon holding hands as well. There aren't any other hands left on the figure. I normally leave a pair on the figure, but I thought we'll get them all off here so you can take a look at them. So yeah, that's the hands. We'll put those to one side. Let's take a look at this helmet. Now, this is, as I say, is going some way to explaining the actual weight of this figure. This is all metal and quite heavy it is too. Very, very nice sculpt. The detailing on there is great. There's detailing around the crest here. There's detailing around the edges. The paint applications have been done really well. It's got a level of weathering on it, not too much, but there is some there. There's dry brushing in the edges and in the crevices there to pick out those details. And multiple paint applications on here to give it that sort of... There is a weathered look there, but not too weathered. I was a little concerned, I'll be honest with you, when I saw the early shots of this figure, the prototype and the early release of the promotional shots, that the armour itself was too gold. But on revisiting the film, it's sort of... it's strange, because in the film it does change colour. It's a lot darker in certain portions of the film, where it's a mixture of gold and black. And then in other parts of the film it actually lightens up. Other parts of the film it gets darker. So yeah, it really is down to sort of personal taste, whether you want it slightly unweathered. This is probably slightly less weathered than I would have gone for, but then again, it is screen accurate as well for certain portions of the film. So yeah, it's got some weight to it, this thing. You've got some faux hair in there for the crest. Looks like it needs a bit of futzing, but that's just because it's come straight out of the box. This is its first time out of the box, so you probably expect that. But yeah, very nice. Great sculpt, great paint applications, screen accurate, and bloody heavy as well. So we'll put that to one side. Let's take a look at this shield. Now, this shield is actually all one piece of sculpted plastic. If they'd have gone for metal here as well, I think literally the figure would not have been able to deal with it, and it would have just pulled it over if you put it into a pose. But yeah, so it's all one piece of plastic. It feels plastic. Yeah, it is. It's plastic. The design looks screen accurate to me with these cutouts in the top and the bottom there, which is where the spear came out. Paint applications are nice. I haven't got close enough up to the film when I revisited to check the detailing and the accuracy, but it looks screen accurate to me. The paint washes are nice. You've got this gold effect with the dry brushing in the crevices and at the edges there to give it that weathered look. And even sculpted in there what looks like a relief a Greek relief of a battle going on in the centre there, which is really nice to see. And it's also been given some texture as well in between what has been painted to look like these metal portions, to give it almost like a leather or wooden effect. But yeah, very, very nice. On the other side here, we've got this peg, obviously for the arm to slip through, and what feels like, now that actually feels like leather, but a leather section here to attach around the arm, which is screwed into the shield itself. So yeah, very nice paint applications. Looks screen accurate to me, and overall a good job there. So yeah, we're off to a good start. So that's the shield. We'll pop that to one side. Let's go on with the weapons. Now, the sword, the short sword that he carries. Now, this is all metal. Quite heavy it is too, and very, very nicely done, I have to say. Once again, the screen accuracy seems to be there to me. It seems to be on point. It's got that rather sort of unusual shape that his short sword had, where it sort of flows up from the hilt and into the blade. But the paint applications are nice. You've got some black paint in there to pick out the details. The gold paint itself, gold stroke brass paint, is really nicely done. And we've got some dry brushing in the edges there to pick out the details, to give it a certain, it's got a feel of slight wear, but not, so it doesn't look brand new, but yeah, it doesn't look like it's been overly weathered. And the hilt has got the same detailing on it as well. So yeah, very nice. Once again, screen accurate, and a letter opener there if you're in need of one. So yeah, very nice. That's the sword. Let's take a look at this spear. Now, I don't know whether we're going to get this spear all in shot. This is huge. This is absolutely mammoth, this spear. But we'll start at one end and work our way down. So yeah, you've got one end of the spear is larger than the other. Once again, the screen accuracy is there. The tips are metal. They've got that gold paint application on them. Once again, there's weathering. There's a gradation of the paint down there as it comes in towards where it's attached to the body of the spear. Same goes for this end as well. Lovely paint applications. I do like this colour. It's sort of I want to call it copper, but it's not. It's a dull gold colour, which is it's just, the colour just really pops. But yeah, paint applications on the gradation there are really nice, and it slots into. Now, I don't know. I mean, this is straight out of the box. It's brand new to me. I don't know whether this is wood or not. It feels like this is wood. It doesn't feel plastic. It feels like what they've done here is they've taken a piece of wood and they've actually painted it and they've weathered it. But it most certainly feels wood to me. I can't. It's difficult to describe that sensation, but you know when you're holding wood. And if that sounded all wrong, I retract that statement on the grounds I might get flagged for that comment. Yeah, it feels like this. I was going to say the shaft of the spear there. This is all going horribly wrong. It feels like it's made out of wood. Let's put it that way. So yeah, that's the spear. Very nice it is too. Very well made. Very screen accurate. And so far, I am very impressed with just the level of detailing and the materials that HH and Haoyu have used here. So yeah, we'll put that spear to one side. What else do you get? We'll come to the head sculpts last. We'll take a look at this enormous display base, this diorama display base. Now this has got some weight to it as well. Not quite as much as I thought, because I think it may be hollow. It's got a hollow feel to it, but the top here is polystone. We'll try and get all this in shot, but it is huge. So yeah, the top section here is polystone. We'll start at the bottom actually. That's what we always do. Throw me off my rhythm otherwise. What you've got on the bottom here is a felt pad, to reduce the chances of it slipping in the display. Mind you, the weight of this thing, I doubt very much it would move on its own. On top, as I mentioned, you've got this polystone effect stone that's been really nicely painted, and what you've got here are columns, broken columns. You've got what looks like the top of a column here that's fallen. The rocks here have got some really nice paint applications on them, and they're quite well sculpted. In fact, they're very well sculpted. There's no real softening in there that I can see. You've got whites, you've got greys, you've got browns. You've got different shades of grey going on here. There's even some greens, like filigree greens, around the bottom of these pillars. I'll try and get these into shot. On the top of this pillar here, you almost got that filigree effect as well. On this head section here, just overall a very, very nice display base. And sort of, as I say, I've only got one other point of reference here, and that's the Conan, but the base on Conan as well, that came with Conan, is really, really nice too, and I think they've done a fantastic job here around the sides. Now, I think, no, I don't know whether that, now, is that plastic? I don't think it is. No, that's polystone as well. What you've got around the sides is this lovely, intricate, brass painted detailing. With dry brushing on it to pick out the details. It's sort of a gold stroke brass colour. You've got these mini column sections as well, spaced around the edging as well. Just overall, really, really nicely done. Yeah, just a quality diorama display base. So yeah, that's the base. Also comes with the standard issue crotch grabber, and there's a hole in the center there for it, so you simply slot it in there. So we'll put that to one side. That's the rather nice base. Now, normally in the accessories section we don't look at head sculpts, we wait until we actually bring the figure out, but this figure comes with two, so I thought what we'd do is actually take an up close look at them but before we actually bring the body of the figure out itself. Now, the two head sculpts themselves, one is rooted hair, obviously, which comes in this rather nice display case, and the other is unrooted. So we'll take a look at the unrooted one first. Now, straight out of the box, and when I first picked this up, yeah, I must admit, I wasn't too impressed. Because the way this plastic hair has been sculpted just does not look right. But then again, I could be getting this wrong, and this may have been designed for the use with this helmet, simply because I think, and I suspect it has been, simply because if you had the rooted hair head sculpt underneath this helmet for any length of time, I think it would ruin what they've done with the second of the two head sculpts. But so I suspect that's what that's for. Far more convincing when it's got the helmet on. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that's what this is for. So we'll hang fire on judgment of the actual hair on this one, because as I say, I think the screen accuracy is not there, simply because they needed to come up with the metal helmet solution, shall we call it. But yeah, taking the hair out the equation, the sculpt itself, yeah, is it? I think once combined with the rest of the outfit on the figure itself, yeah, it's gonna look like Brad Pitt as Achilles. But I think as a standalone, the likeness there it's there to a certain extent. The sculpt is pretty good. The paint applications are okay. You've got some skin texturing on there. There's a furrowing in the forehead and in the where the eyes meet. The eyes are nice and glassy, and the paint applications on the features are pretty good. I would have to say, on the whole, that to me, as a sculptor, Brad Pitt, I would say close but no cigar. I think as far as Brad Pitt head sculpts go, still in my opinion, the winner's always going to be Blitzway's Tyler Durden, possibly with Hot Toys' Aldo Rain coming a close second. But yeah, it's not bad. It does the job. So that's the sculpted hair head sculpt. Let's get this rooted hair version out. Now, I'll say it comes in this rather nice display base. Forgot to mention there as well, both heads are magnetically attached, which is nice to see. So there's no having to rip the heads off, especially, which can be a real pain in the proverbials when it comes to rooted hair sculpts, especially ones with intricate hair designs. Now, I think what we're looking at here with the rooted hair sculpt is exactly the same sculpt there. There looks like there may be some slight paint variations. In actual fact, I'm on a close inspection, because as I say, this is the first, I think they are different sculpts. The lips look different to me. The lips look more prominent on the rooted head sculpt. The paint applications are most certainly different. There's more going on with this rooted one. There's more of a 5 o'clock shadow there. There seems to be more depth in the paint applications. Those lips, yeah, please comment in the comment section below. Am I seeing things here, or are those lips just been painted differently? But yeah, I think it just goes to show, if they are identical, what having a bad hair day can do to a sculpt. Obviously, the one on the left is far more convincing, but the paint applications are just as good, if not better, on this one, in my opinion. We'll put that to one side and take a look at this rooted hair. Now, I think they've done a really, really good job with this rooted hair. In capturing the style. You've got some curls at the bottom there. The colour is right. The length is right as far as I can see. And what they've done is they've styled it really, really well and really accurately. There were these, if you've seen the film, you'll know that sort of at the widow's peak section, if you will, of his forehead there, the hair was pulled straight back and then it fell at either sides. You had these sort of ringlet things going on, and then it went into this curl at the back. And they've also put in there the ponytail in the back as well, which is very, very well done. So I think they've absolutely nailed it with this hair. I think they have. I think the head sculpt, whether if it is identical, is most certainly ramped up massively for not having that plastic hair. I think that head sculpt, although not 100%. Brad Pitt most certainly is better than the other one. So yeah, there you have it. That's the two head sculpts. I will probably be, as the manufacturers intend to be, using this one for unhelmeted and this one for helmeted. I don't want to damage this this rather nice hair that they've done here. So yeah, that's the two head sculpts. So that's all the accessories. So without further ado, let's bring out the figure itself, get it onto the stand, get it onto the turntable, if the turntable can cope with the weight, and have an up-close and look at Achilles. Okay, so here he is. It's Achilles himself, straight out of the box, straight onto that rather impressive stand, straight onto the turntable, which is groaning under the weight. This is one very, very heavy figure. A lot of reasons for that, but we'll get to those. First impressions, a bit of a mixed bag, and a lot of the downside of the mixed bag is that plastic hair head sculpt there, that sculpted hair head sculpt, not really working particularly well. But we'll come to that. But overall, the proportions look good. The weight of this thing is phenomenal. That's down to the fact that it's a seamless body that they've used here. Now, I'm not sure whether this is a TB League body that they've got going on here. I didn't see TB League credited anywhere on the box. I might have missed it, but I didn't see them anywhere. So whether it's another seamless body made by another company, I don't know. But yeah, so that's combined with, it's obviously going to add to the weight simply because you've got those stainless steel frames with the sort of the silicone stroke rubber over the top there. So the weight of this figure is truly phenomenal. But we'll stop him from spinning and have an up close look at him, and we'll start at the bottom and work our way up as we always do. I've got to stop this turntable from spinning before it just collapses under the sheer weight of this thing. So yeah, let's get him off the stand, and let's, if I can pick him up with one hand and into shot here. I've had to muck around with the lighting a little bit here so that we can get the best out of the figure and as it's rotating on the turntable, but also so we can see the details up close. So as I say, the weight straight away is attributable to all the metal on here. All the armour, as far as I can tell, on this entire figure. That includes the chest plate, it includes the braces, it includes the shin guards, even down to the feet. This is all metal. So yeah, you add that to the weight of the seamless body, and you're looking at probably one of the heaviest figures I have ever picked up. If I had scales, I'd weigh it. But yeah, let's start at the bottom here now. As I mentioned there, these feet are actually metal. They are pegged strong. I'll try and get these into shot as close as I can. They are pegged, if you can see underneath. I'll just lift this shin guard up a little bit. They're pegged straight into the Fison body, obviously, because that's how they work, if it is a Fison body, or a TB League body rather. But yeah, these feet are metal. Which is, I think this is the first time I have come across any figure that's got metal feet. I believe that the foot attire that Achilles wore was actually made out of leather or some other material. But what they've done here is they painted the metal to actually look like the material. It's been weathered. Obviously the shoelaces are sculpted there, no detailing on the bottom here. I think it's probably just to keep it in line with maybe the weight of the rest of the figure as well, simply because it will probably need metal feet to support it. But yeah, a new one on me, all metal feet. And then up to these shin guards now. These are free floating on the figure itself, and once again all metal. I'll bring it round so you can see around the back here. Now they're tied on. These are cotton ties which thread through the actual shin guards themselves. Yeah, all metal there. Now bringing it back round, the paint applications are really nice on here. You've got dry brushing to pick out the detailing in the crevices there. There's this brown effect, and then the gold effect edges around here and highlights the design in the center. Very, very solidly constructed, as I say, all metal. Moving up now, we get to the to this tunic stroke skirt section, and I am pretty certain this is leather. I'm going to throw my hat in the ring here and say that this is leather. This isn't leather. It looks and feels like leather to me. I haven't done the sniff test, but if it is a pleather, it is an exceptionally thick pleather. But I'm going to go with leather on this one. If anybody out there knows, please drop a comment in the comment section below. If I'm wrong and this isn't leather, let me know. But the stitch work here is absolutely fantastic. There's a lining to it as well underneath the skirt section, if the camera's picking that up. Stitch work is great. Yeah, you know me and my OCD around getting 6-scale stitch work right, but it looks absolutely on point to me. Could possibly do with a touch of weathering, but that's probably just me being nitpicking there. Underneath this leather tunic, you've got this sort of pair of black cotton shorts, which, as I remember, are actually screen accurate. Not that I spent an awful lot of time in the film looking up his skirt, but as I remember, that he did wear a pair of black material shorts underneath the tunic itself. So yeah, as far as I can tell, that's all leather. Now this continues up. It's all one piece. It's got stitching. I'll lift the arm up here so you can see. It's stitched in the sides there, and it's got these sort of cotton strings holding it together. But it looks to me as if this is I was going to say all one piece, but yeah, it's the leather tunic section continues all the way up underneath the chest plate, which is once again screen accurate. There is detailing picked out underneath the actually on the chest section of the tunic itself. You've got this black detailing stitched at both sides there. And you come up to the top and you've got this chest plate, once again made out of metal and very, very heavy indeed. Takes some finagling to get it to sit right on the shoulders, but once again that colour is there, the screen accuracy with the colour. As I mentioned in the accessories section, the armour's sort of changed colour. I might be doing a little bit of weathering to this to put some of that black back, because I really did like the contrast that you got in certain portions of the film. Where the gold was showing through the black, so maybe could do with a little bit more weathering, but that's personal taste. The braces on the arms, pretty much, well, I say exactly the same, but pretty much the same as the shin guards. They don't have string holding them on. These are all sculpted metal, as you can see there. They're free floating on the body. Now, getting down to this body now, as I mentioned before, not sure whether this is a TB League body or not. One thing that did strike me, and we'll get to that when we get to the head sculpt here, is there is a tonal change from the head sculpt to the body, which is it does sort of jar a little bit, to be honest with you. I mean, knowing that they were going to use this body, perhaps they could have matched the paint applications on the head a little bit better to the body. Possibly the body used in the A version, I know, is a jointed body. That may be a different tone, so maybe they were struggling there. They'd already produced the head sculpts, so repainting them all to match the new body might have been an issue. I don't know, but yeah, there is definitely a tonal change there. The body is more tanned, the face is lighter, but the rooted head sculpt does have more of a tanned look to it, so maybe it matches better with that. We'll try that out momentarily. So yeah, This waistband, this waist section here, once again, is all metal. Everything metal here. Some nice paint applications on there. That gold paint again. Coming around the back, it's attached with metal clasps, although that one looks like it might need some work to make sure it doesn't come apart. Maybe needs to get some pliers on there to make sure that joins together. But yeah, that detailing is carried up on the leather section of the back there. Same paint applications. Just, yeah, and as I say, with all this metal on it and the seamless body, you are looking at some weight here. So let's get up to this head sculpt again. We've already taken a look at it, so I'm not going to spend too much time going over that, other than to say it's not my personal favourite, but we will actually bring the helmet in at this point and see how that works, so bear with me. Yeah, now straight away when you put that helmet on, it works far, far better. So, I mean, a lot of what's throwing that head sculpt off for me is definitely the hair, but we will try it with the rooted hair as well when we put him back on the stand. So, yeah, overall, absolutely excellent. I'm going to take that off simply because it's adding to the already humongous weight we're looking at here. So, yeah. Probably worthy of note as well, if you are using the sculpted hair head sculpt here, watch out if you're posing that head there. It'd be quite easy to scrape the silicone here on this seamless body, and they don't react well to that kind of thing, as we all know. So, yeah, just something to look out for. As I mentioned before, it's magnetically attached, this head sculpt, so yeah, very, very easy to remove, and it gives a range of motion there, which is great to see. You've got the full motion that comes with this kind of body. So yeah, there you have it. Let's actually pop him back on the stand and just try him with that rooted hair sculpt before we go to our final thoughts on this. So we'll take that one off. Let me just we'll bring this one back in, and we'll give this one a go. I haven't done anything with this hair, so it's literally going straight on as is. And okay, this one doesn't want to go on. Let me fiddle around with this a little bit. And oops, nearly lost it there. There we go. There was something else actually worth mentioning at this point as well. Is the body they've used here. Now, I might be being overly picky here. But I believe, as I remember it in the film, Brad Pitt was slightly more muscular than this. It's perhaps a tad too lean. If it is a TB lead body, I'm not sure which model it is they've used. Maybe it could have done with going up a model, shall we say. Legs look a little bit on the thin side to me there. Perhaps, I'm not remembering this right, but I think they were more muscular. I do. And I think the arms were slightly more muscular as well. Now, let's bring him off the stand, get him back into shot with this head sculpt on. Now, that head sculpt doesn't look like it's sitting flush to me. Maybe this needs to come off. I don't know. I doubt it because it's just a ball joint under there. Yeah, it's just a ball joint. So maybe that's just ridden up a little bit. Let's pop that down and pop that back on and see if it fits better. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, there we go. That's far better. Okay, so there you have him with the rooted head sculpt. Now that works far, far better for me. It really does. Still, though, we have got that tonal change, unfortunately. It's not as pronounced here with this particular head sculpt because, as I mentioned before, this is slightly more tanned. But yeah, there's still a slight tonal change there, but it's nowhere near as pronounced. A little bit of hair's got caught underneath that head sculpt, which we'll have to finagle out at some point. So yeah, there you have it. That is Brad Pitt as Achilles from Troy. So, final thoughts. Yeah, I'm going to get him spinning again while I gather my thoughts on this one. There is so much good stuff going on here. There really is. The plus points here, where to begin? The diorama base. Absolutely fantastic, wonderful to see. Great detail. It just grounds the figure, places the figure, and the posing options you've got on there are really good. So yeah, a massive thumbs up on the base. Apart from the fact that this crotch grabber is a little bit flimsy and does move around a bit when it's supporting this kind of weight. The materials that HH Model and Haoyu Toys have used. Phenomenal. You've got metal everywhere. You've got what I believe to be leather. The screen accuracy is on point. The colours are on point. Okay, we'll take into consideration what I was saying about how it changes in the film and how some certain sections it's black and other sections it's gold. But overall, screen accuracy is on point. The fact that they use this seamless body is wonderful. Even maybe a slight point deduction there for the proportions. As I say, these legs look a little bit too skinny for me. Head sculpt, not perfect, but very good. And the fact that you've got the rooted hair options to go for as well, and the fact that they've given you a sculpted hair version for use with this this particular accessory, wonderful, wonderful. So, on the whole, really, really positive. Just a couple of things there that I may have done differently. Obviously, the painting of that head sculpt to match the body, maybe upgrading that body ever so slightly, and that head sculpt just being ever so slightly off is gonna knock a little bit off the. That's annoying me. That arm is slightly out of whack. It's going to affect the score. I'm going to give this a 9. Yeah. 8.59. No, 9. I'm going to give it a 9. Things that that could possibly be improved. That body, I think, needs to have gone up 1, and that head sculpt could be improved. Apart from that, everything else is an absolute hit here for me. I really, really am liking this figure. So there you have it. That is HH Model and Haoyu Toys' take on Brad Pitt as Achilles from the movie Troy. So what's your take on this? What are your thoughts? Is it something that you've got in your collection? Are you thinking of picking up? Let me know. Drop a comment in the comment section below. Also, your thoughts on that head sculpt. Is it me? Is it more Brad Pitt than I'm giving it credit for? I'd be fascinated to find out. So I suppose all that remains for me to say is I hope this review's been useful. Thank you for watching. What's coming up on the channel? Well, a raft of stuff, as always. In the 1/6 scale world, we've got Blitzway's Astro Boy. We've got the VTS Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII, the remake. We've got Caustic Plastic's Horror of Dracula. Obviously, that one's already starting to hit, so hopefully it will be landing with us soon. That's the deluxe edition. Present Toys Anton Chigurh from No Country for Old Men. Org Toys Duke Leto Atreides from June. We've got the Doof from Mad Max Fury Road with possibly one of the biggest and maddest diorama bases I've ever seen in my life. That's the deluxe edition. The quarter scale world, we've got the Sideshow Van Helsing statue from Dracula. That's on its way to us. We've got the Prime 1 Blitzway Paul Atreides statue. And in the 12 scale world, a raft of stuff. We're going to be taking a look, taking a walk down memory lane with some of the American Wolf and London stuff to coincide with NECA's announcement of releasing the Jack and David figures. And a lot more retro reviews and showcases and news and all kinds of good stuff. So, as I mentioned at the top there, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification icon, make an old man happy, and supporting us here at Go Figure to keep doing what we're doing. So, yeah, massive thank you to everybody. Thank you for watching. So, take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.